Hey there, Dr. Ashley Oxner coming to you today about the toxic truth. That's right, there are some very, very important things you need to understand about toxins, and I hope this series really kind of clears the water a little bit, no pun intended, or actually pun intended, so that you and your family can just live the healthiest life possible. So as I go through today's topic, which the question is, can deodorant cause Alzheimer's disease? A very powerful, thought-provoking question for many. But it's important to understand a couple things. One, your skin absorbs 60% of what you put on it within about 26 seconds. So think of your skin like the biggest sponge on the planet. It just takes things in, puts them right into your bloodstream through the capillaries, etc. So it's important to realize that your skin is that organ. So with that in mind, we're going to talk about basically three approaches today. We have kind of three pillars that we stand on with toxicity in my clinic and in our approach. And the number one is actually education. So we want to make sure you're educated so that then you can hit number two, which is reduction in exposures to those toxins. And then number three, which is detoxification, because you can't completely eliminate every exposure. So that's why we use the term reduction, and that's why that third component is so critical that you constantly detox. So can deodorants cause Alzheimer's? Well, in order to answer that question, we're going to go to the research, and what I've got up on the screen here is an article that, by the way, only has 176 sources and citations. However, what they did is they've explored the link between aluminum and the cause of Alzheimer's disease. So right there in the title, that's exactly what they're trying to discuss and discover and really shed light on. So here's some things I wanted to just kind of highlight from the article, so you don't have to read the whole thing, but you're welcome to. The article's address is right up there. So as we kind of scroll down here to where's it at? Article, there it is, table 1, the effects of aluminum on the central nervous system. So that would be, of course, the brain and spinal cord. What they know is these effects exist, and the references are right there. Number 1, binding to DNA. It binds to histone DNA complex, induces conformational changes of chromatin, induces topological changes of DNA. It also, under altered gene expression, there's 4 things that it causes to happen here. So aluminum is a bad thing. It's a very toxic. It's a metal, and it's something that absolutely changes DNA, as you can see in that right there. And then to kind of summarize right here, it's important just to read this paragraph in its high points, which is basically aluminum causes death of neurons and glial cells. So your brain cells die when aluminum's present. Not to mention down here in the last, when it says these adverse effects may be involved in the mechanisms that underlie aluminum-induced memory disorders. So here's the thing. We don't know a lot, much at all, as far as the cause of Alzheimer's in a lot of the literature, but what this article exposes is there is a probable link and something to be studied deeper about aluminum and its effect on the brain. We do know this. It's not good for you. It's not good for your brain cells, and it absolutely kills them and causes DNA damage. So we've got to keep that in mind. That would tell me I would want to avoid it. So some of the leading exposure sources that are out there can be, number 1, your cooking utensils, your cooking pots. Some of those pots and pans are made from aluminum. Antacids contain aluminum. Dialysis, people who are under dialysis actually have higher levels of aluminum in their body because their kidneys aren't excreting it as effectively. There's actually aluminum in toothpaste. One of the ingredients is called aluminum oxyhydroxide. You want to look out for that. All those little aluminum pouch drinks, the little kids' juice drinks that are basically laminated in aluminum. Then you have aluminum foil, of course. There is aluminum used in baking soda, in the processing of cheese product, and even in tap water. Now, don't forget another one, which is vaccinations. They do put that in quite a few of them, including the flu shot. Very, very important to understand that metal is in those, okay? So last but not least, back to the initial question, which is, can deodorant cause Alzheimer's? So right here I've got an antiperspirant deodorant. Let me go ahead and get this up on the screen for you. So what you're looking at here, this is just your basic secret clinical strength invisible solid. So a very popular deodorant, antiperspirant used by women. Now, here's what we want to do is we're going to flip it over to understand the ingredients. So notice that it does say drug. It is a drug. And in that drug right there is the aluminum zirconium. So, and in fact, it's at a pretty high rate. 20% of the substance is that. And when we look at, for instance, this Dove Care for Men, and we look at that one, it's at 15.2%. And then we take a look at Old Spice here, that one, we're at about 18%. So here's the thing to keep in mind with deodorants. Number one, there's two components to a deodorant, right? One is an antiperspirant, and that's what you're looking at here, meaning stop sweating. So it wants to stop you from sweating. And then there's deodorants. So we have stop you from stinking, stop you from sweating. I would encourage you to only ever buy the stop you from stinking versions, which is deodorant, because stopping your greatest organ that excretes and also absorbs everything, again, in 26 seconds, it starts to absorb 60% of what you put on it. Your skin, to stop it from working doesn't make any sense. That'd be like taking a pill to make your liver stop filtering toxins from your body. It doesn't make any sense. So we're going to have answers for this for you throughout this series, but I encourage you, yes, get deodorants. Don't do antiperspirants, and avoid aluminum at all costs. So signing off. Hope you guys have a great one. I hope this helped a lot. Bye-bye.